Hi guys and welcome back to the Saints View channel for Southampton content for our match preview and predicted lineup video ahead of Southampton's home game against Chelsea on Saturday. A difficult test against Thomas Tuchel's side to come, but they have to end their current run of 6 consecutive league defeats sooner, otherwise they're going to be set for a disappointing season. But before we get into it, do make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet already, with your notifications turned on. Follow us on our socials, and as always, this video is kindly sponsored by the guys over at Pitch Sport. Make sure you download that app if you haven't yet already. The link is in the description. Right, let's get into it. Now, as always, let's reflect on the last Saints game. That really disappointing and bitter blow, losing 2-1 to Wolves, having been 1-0 up after such a strong first half. To give it away like that was just, it was sickening. You know, didn't show up at all in the second half. Probably should have seen the game wrapped up, in fairness. By half time we were excellent, but of course the early penalty in the second half didn't help, and from there we just crumbled. And we've been doing that way too often, not just this season, but you know, the amount of times we've dropped points from winning positions over the last 3-4 years is just ridiculous. And yeah, the mentality of this squad just isn't good enough. We can't hold on to a lead to save our lives, and you know, we were set to go pick up a really vital 3 points. Even a draw, you know, would have stopped the rot a little bit. So yeah, really disappointed with that. And to lose 6 league games for the first time ever in a row, yeah, it's a really bitter pill to swallow. And it doesn't get much easier in terms of opportunities to turn that form around, with Chelsea the next to come to St Mary's. Under new management now in Thomas Tuchel, I think they've looked much better. 5 consecutive wins in all competitions. It's a tough game. It's a very, very tough game against a side who have a phenomenal record at St Mary's. They've won their last 5 league games there. It's probably the poorest run against any side at home that we've got. And it seems that we always play them when we're in bad form. You know, we're in a bad run and they're sort of on the cusp or in the middle of a good run. And again, we find ourselves in the exact same situation. We've just lost 6 in a row. They've just won 5 in a row. Obviously, on paper, there's one winner. However, with these poor runs, you've got to find small little positive margins and take them into the next game when you're looking for that win. And I think there's positive factors to take from the Wolves game. Obviously, we won a couple of days before the league game in the Cup. We obviously need to take positives from that. Newcastle scored 2 goals. You've got to take positives from that. I mean, I'm clutching at straws a little bit, and I have been for the last couple of weeks during this run. But really, you know, it's got to end. It's got to end now. You know, we can't wait until the next game against Leeds. We can't wait until you know, Everton, or when we've got a more, you know, on paper favourable run with, you know, the likes of Sheffield United. I think Palace is in there as well. You know, more winnable games. We can't wait for that. We've got to start picking up points now. Even a point, you know, and obviously I'll talk about my prediction later in the video, but I think a point would do us the world of good, because it would stop the rot and take a bit of confidence going into the game against Leeds, which is going to be another tricky game. And of course, we'll preview that after Chelsea. But for me, I think we just need to show a response, maybe change something a little bit. That might be in the formation. You know, some people have suggested a back 5. It might work. You know, obviously we've now got 3 centre halves that are all within a good shout of starting, with Salisu now fit. He had a great game against Wolves in the Cup, had to come on for Walker-Peters, who came off injured and will be out for a couple of weeks. Massive blow that. So now that we haven't got a right back, maybe we do need to operate with that sort of formation, with Salisu, Bednarek and Vestergaard, the 3 centre-backs. Maybe Ward-Prowse as a wing-back on the right, Bircham on the left, of course. We've played it before. We haven't really had much success with it, but you know, desperate times call for desperate measures, and we're definitely in a desperate situation right now. But in terms of Chelsea players, I think, you know, I can go on forever. I said it in the preview back, and when was the game? October, September time, when we drew 3-3. You know, they've had not as much luck with the summer signings as they would have liked, but Werner seems to be back in form, got his goal after a long, long drought on Monday against Newcastle. So, you know, of course, he's probably set to get 1 or 2 at St Mary's, as, you know, all these players do when they're in bad form. Olivier Giroud's a striker I've admired for years. I think Mount's had a decent season for them. Lots of goal threat. Obviously, Giroud, the one I just mentioned, he loves a goal against Saints. I'm not a betting man, but I think it might be smart to put a quid or 2 on Giroud scoring on the weekend. They've got a great team. And on our day, we can beat anyone, as we've shown this season, or the vast majority of teams. But it's just not been our day for a long time now. And I'm not convinced that it's going to be our day on Saturday. Now, we should have a separate opposition preview video coming out tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that. But before that, of course, let's go into the predicted lineup. This one is going to be a bit more interesting. I suggested the back five. Personally, I don't think Ralph's going to go for it. I think he's going to try and find a makeshift right back that's just not going to help at all. So in goal, Alex McCarthy, I think he'll keep his place. A left back, Bertrand, of course, playing against his former side. And then the centre backs, I think, will be Bednarek and Vestergaard again. Right back, personally, to be honest, I'd like to see Kane Ramsey. He had an okay first half against United. I know it was a difficult scenario for him, but I thought he did well at times. And to be honest, he's our only natural right back. Why wouldn't we play him? Suggestions of Salisu or Stevens playing there. But for me, I'll be playing Ramsey. However, I do think it's going to be Jack Stevens. And then in the midfield, I think we're going to see Ward-Prowse and Oriol Romeu. No surprises there. Now on the left, I think we're going to see Minamino. And on the right, we're going to see Stuart Armstrong. Up front, I think, again, it's going to be Ings and Redmond. I don't know why Ralph is suddenly choosing this partnership. I don't think it works. I'll be playing Adams myself. But I think that he's going to opt for it once again. And then to wrap up a score prediction, I'm going for 2-1 Chelsea. I like to be confident with these score predictions, but I'm just not confident at all. Hopefully predicting a defeat might turn the table a little bit for us. But yeah, I just can't see how we're going to get a point from this one. But anyway, I hope we do. Thank you for watching the video. If you have enjoyed it, leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. Follow us on our socials and we'll see you after a game for the review, hopefully after a massive win. Not too sure about that. Take it easy, guys.